Hello everyone, welcome to the ENbreeEN, the daily current affairs news discussion by Team Enlight. Today we will be going through the following important topics that were in news today. The first topic for today is the RoDTEP scheme. Why was it in news? The rate on these schemes are going to be notified in this week. What is the RoDTEP scheme? It is the remission of duties or taxes on export product. The exporters receive refund on the embedded taxes and duties previously not recoverable. What is the need for this scheme? The chief aim of the scheme is to boost the exports of goods that were poor in volume, basically to make India an exporting and manufacturing hub. It also replaces the merchandise export from India scheme, which is the MICE, which was incompatible with the WTO norms. So here are a few features which are important of the RoDTEP scheme. It covers the duties and taxes levied at the central, state and the local levels. The refunds will be reimbursed to the exporters as transferable duty credit electronic scripts as maintained in an electronic ledger. Hence, it is in consonance with the Digital India program. You can also include this example in if you are writing some mains answer writing for Digital India itself. It can be used to pay basic customs duty on imported products. How does it help? First of all, it will help to contribute to make India a $5 trillion economy. And secondly, it will help the exporters meet the international standards and promote the business growth of India. So there are few challenges for the scheme. First one is the delayed implementation because the scheme was notified in on January 1, 2021. But its rates have been delayed and hence the exporters were facing problem in deciding the rates or putting a value for their exports. Also, similar schemes which are there, if they are being implemented on certain exports, then this particular scheme cannot be implemented. And the problem is that those schemes only cover the manufacturing, the indirect taxes or other things which are levied in the manufacturing of those products and does not cover the overall value chain cost, etc. So here are also some figures and facts which you can use in your mains answer writing, and also some important facts which can come in prelims in certain fact-based questions. As you can see that this will include the education says the state taxes on oil, power and water. The re-exported products are not eligible under this scheme. Also, the exported products should have India as their country of origin. So these are few things which you must keep in mind for this particular topic. So the next topic for today is the SEZs, that is the Special Economic Zones. Why was it in news? The government will soon free up unused built-up area and idle land worth rupees 30,000 crores in rupees inside the SEZs for the other economic activities in order to completely unleash the economic power of these SEZs. What is the SEZ? An SEZ is an enclave within a country that is typically duty-free and has different business and commercial laws, chiefly to encourage the investment and create employment. The benefits of the SEZ are, the few benefits are, first of all, 100% income tax exemption on export income for SEZ units under the Income Tax Act for the first 5 years. It is important to remember this for prelims also, that it is only for the first 5 years. The second is supplies to these SEZs are zero rated under the IGST Act of 2017. Then duty-free imports and products procurement of goods for developing, operating and maintaining these SEZs. Units are exempted from minimum alternate tax. Also, there is single window clearance for the central and state level approvals. Next is the problems with the SEZs. Obviously, the first part is the unutilized land in SEZs. For example, even in the news article it is given, if there is an SEZ building which is there for IT SEZ, maybe only half of the building is being used by that IT office, the other half is vacant, and hence the government wants to use this vacant building to rent it out or to sell it to other people so that the value which is logged in right now can be utilized for some value addition or profit generating income. Also, the next problem is that the existence of multiple models such as the coastal economic zone, Delhi-Mumbai industrial corridor, etc. So the main problem is there is poor integration amongst these different models of SEZs. The next is the competition from Asian countries and China. So first of all, I would like to mention here that the SEZ model in India itself has been taken from China. As you know, China has become a manufacturing as well an export hub. In order to mimic the same model in India, the SEZs were started in India. But the main problem is that these countries are also investing in technology as well as skill development of the labor, and that's why we are unable to compete with these countries in manufacturing and exporting. So hence you can write it as a way forward, etc., that we need to invest further in skill development and technology investments so that these SEZs can completely help us become superpowers in export, etc. Next is there that prelims facts. The Parliament passed the Special Economic Zones Act in 2005. This is important for your prelims purpose. Also, certain facts like 64% of the SEZs are located in 5 states like Tamil Nadu, Telangana, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh and Maharashtra. Another important fact for prelims is the Baba Kalyani Committee, which was set up under the Ministry of Commerce and Industry to study the existing SEZ policy of India. So let's move on to the next topic. The next topic is the urban equivalent of MGNREGA. So this topic has been taken in light of the global pandemic. There has been a shrink in the Indian economy and there has been high unemployment rates, loss of livelihood as well as rising poverty. Hence, to address the urban unemployment and large scale urban to rural migration, we are looking at why do we need the urban equivalent of MGNREGA. So first of all, the need for such policy. The first point is everyone has a right to live a dignified life under right to life guaranteed under Article 21 of the Indian Constitution. So as you can see over here, only when someone can get work, they can earn some income or livelihood, and hence this right will be justified. So that is the first point, why do we need such a policy. Next is Urban Employment Guarantee Program not only improves the income of workers, but it also has a multiplier effect on the economy, as it will boost the local demand, improve public infrastructure, services, entrepreneurship, build the skills of the workers and create a shared sense of public goods. At the same time, livelihood safety net is essential during economic shocks, etc. For example, what happened during the global pandemic and the lockdowns which were happening and are still continuing in India. And hence also it must be very comprehensive, that is there must not be any differentiation. For example, in India there is a difference between the rural and the urban. It must cover the whole population. So the next point is the problem with the current urban livelihood programs. It's not like we do not have any urban livelihood programs. We do have, for example, the National Urban Livelihood Mission, but it is basically focused on self-employment generation through the skill development and credit linkages through banks. So the difference is that in MGNREGA, which is there implemented in the rural areas, it provides guaranteed wage employment, and hence it is guaranteed that you will get wages for these many number of days when you are provided work, which is not the case with the urban livelihood mission. The next point is important, not just in this particular scenario, but also in general from mains point of view. That is the myth of migration pattern in India. So as per experts until now, what we have studied is that there is always migration from the rural India to the urban India for better job opportunities, better wages, better services, health services, infrastructure, education, etc. But during this pandemic, we observed something completely opposite. What happened is the migratory laborers which were working in the urban areas, they were basically migrating from the urban centers into the rural India. And there were 2 points for that. One, the agricultural, there was agriculture in the rural India which could support them when they had their job loss in the urban centers. And also there was MGNREGA like schemes in the rural India which would provide them some amount of livelihood and guaranteed wages. So this is an important point. You can use it in different mains answer as a brownie point also for yourself. Here there is the case study, that is Himachal Pradesh launches Mukhyamantri Shehri Rozgar Guarantee Yojana. So there are some basic features of this, that is 120 days of guaranteed wage employment to every household in a financial year with minimum wages which are there. The work type will be unskilled work at projects being executed or sanitation services being provided by the municipality. And also important is that if no employment is available within a fortnight of the registration, then compensation of ₹75 per day is provided. The conclusion from this case study is that first of all, the urban livelihood scheme can be launched within the existing fiscal space. It is not necessary that you need to borrow extra funds, and if there is not enough fiscal space, then what can be done is the center and the states can share. Separate minimum wages for rural and urban areas does not lead to migration from the to the urban areas from the rural areas, because there is an offsetting values in the urban areas as the cost of living is higher in urban areas. So obviously when someone is moving from rural areas to urban areas, they will not just look at this wages what wages they are getting, but they will also look at other costs which they need to spend while living in the urban areas. So next is the focus of urban development must shift from infrastructure development to service delivery. Such schemes can act as an economic vaccine against unemployment. So the thing is that you can use such points that such schemes can act as economic vaccine against unemployment, etc., which will be very good points when you write such terms like economic vaccine. So the next part is prelims related certain facts, especially for MGNREGA. The facts are such as the largest work guarantees program in the world, then at least 1/3 of the beneficiaries must be women. It provides 100 days of employment. It is a demand driven scheme, and as well as Gram Sabhas are responsible to undertake 50% of the works and must execute them. So these are some important facts which you can which may be asked in your prelims exam. So the next topic is ISRO launches EOS-03 satellite. Why this has been in news? That is because since the outbreak of the pandemic, this is the third satellite which ISRO has launched, and several other projects of ISRO have been delayed. So what is this EOS-03 satellite? The EOS-03 satellite is an Earth observation satellite to be used for geoimaging. Its applications are: it enables real-time monitoring of natural disasters like floods and cyclones. It is capable of imaging the whole country 4 to 5 times daily, and also enables monitoring of water bodies, crops, vegetation conditions, etc. So what is the need for such a satellite? So basically the EOS-03 is a radar imaging satellite which is unaffected by the weather, cloud, fog, lack of sunlight, etc. It is able to provide high quality images in all conditions, which is not true for optical imaging satellites. So here are the prelims based facts. The EOS-03, which will be placed in the geosynchronous transfer orbit by GSLV, geosynchronous satellite launch vehicle. And so I am not going into the details of what is GSLV, what is PSLV, but you must be very clear between these differences and what is the geosynchronous transfer orbit, etc., because UPSC has previously also asked prelims based questions related to this stuff. And since if someone is having confusions, they can of course put it in comments that they want a separate class on this topic, etc. So thank you so much and have a nice day.